said Father Sekabira was kidnapped by men in Uganda armed uniform. The church has not responded to the military's accusations. As Uganda prepares to hold elections next month, it faces growing scrutiny from human rights groups over reports of enforced disappearances and prolonged detention without trial. Eritrea has announced its withdrawal from the East African Regional Bloc IGAD, citing concerns that the organization has strayed from its founding principles. The move comes amid heightened tensions with Ethiopia over access to the Red Sea, raising fears of renewed conflict in the Horn of Africa. Professor and Pan-Africanist and political analyst Mamo Muchi explains.
Eritrea first left in 2007, then it joined again in 2023, and now again it's leaving now in 2025. So this coming and going, there must be some genuine discussion about what does it mean to have the Horn of Africa countries. How can they also collaborate, not allow external actors to do? Like we have now, as you notice, the Sahel area, Burkina Faso, Niger, and they are now creating one flag. At least they are trying, and it's not easy. France is against them, and some of the ECOWAS countries, the big countries, but at the same time, they are trying their best. So is there any chance we could work on how the regional integration, security, peace prevails?
South Africa's presidency has confirmed that the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry's final report will be made public. However, the interim report, which the commission will submit to President Cyril Ramaphosa on Wednesday, will not be made public. This is because the commission is yet to hear more evidence. President Ramaphosa established the commission to probe allegations of criminality, political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya briefed the media at the Union Buildings in Pretoria.
So the final report will be released to the public. The Commission will advise the President on areas that are of national security sensitivity and how those areas will need to be managed, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. I repeat once again, the final report of the Madlanga Commission will be made available to the public. It will be released to the public.
Further high-level talks will take place in Germany's capital Berlin today. This as diplomatic efforts intensify to try and end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. He'll also attend the summit involving key European allies in the evening. The European Union's policy chief, Kaja Kallas, says Kyiv needs strong security guarantees in the event of a peace deal.
We have one aggressor and one victim. The one that needs security guarantees is Ukraine, not Russia. In the last 100 years, Russia has attacked at least 19 countries, some as many as 3 or 4 times. None of those countries has ever attacked Russia, so they don't need any security guarantees. The security guarantees are needed for everybody else.
For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jonani Tulo Mwepe.
Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African Time. A happy Monday to you. Happy mid-month vibes. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Matsheko Musito, here to host the Upside for you. Welcome to the show. If you are new here, you are officially an Upsider. Okay, so we hope that you will be here to stay as we broadcast live from our studios here in Johannesburg until 4 p.m. on a daily, Monday to Friday. We are here and bring you everything that you need to know and opening gateways into the African continent. Thank you very much to Lulu Kapu and the team. They are back again tomorrow, right here, same time, same place. So tune in for the show. Otherwise, happy to be back with you as we kickstart the week. Happy Monday to you. We are going to be coming through in conversation, looking at matters of public safety. It's a big operative word, particularly at this time of the year when there's going to be a lot of out and about, a lot of activity, a lot of festivaling, a lot of celebration. So Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety, Mgcini Tswaku, has confirmed a criminal case that has been opened following a fatal shooting of a 19-year-old in the township of Soweto here in South Africa. So that's quite a big story to pay attention to, particularly looking at matters of public safety. That's in the first hour. In the middle hour, that's just after 2, a wave of housing scams is sweeping through Johannesburg, with criminals now using the faces and names of senior officials to deceive desperate residents. So every single Monday we talk property matters of all kinds, and this just happens to be one of them. So we're going to be looking at this housing scam, very, very big story. And then, of course, we're going to be doing the regular, the What Caught Your Eyes, the Vent O'Clocks, all the good stuff coming through. Welcome to the show. We are broadcasting live, actually, audio visually. If you'd like to watch the show, it's on YouTube and Facebook. Otherwise, you can tune in on the traditional World Wide Web, .channelafrica.co.za. Otherwise, Southern Africa, catch us on the DSTV audio bouquet, channel 802.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa, the right music all the time. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Let's just do it.
Your life just got easier. Get the Channel Africa app and take us wherever you go. Catch the latest news, enjoy your favorite shows, stream the music you love, and stay connected to the continent. All in one spot, right in your pocket. Simple, quick, and always with you. The Channel Africa app. Download it now on iOS and Android. No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa. The Upside, live and real.
Now your love can't heal my stress. To the end of time. Will you stay by my side, girl? I need you in my lifeline. Let me hold you so tight. I gon' make you my wife, girl. I gon' make you my wife, girl. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la la. Inani fite tala. Anye munganya woku chara. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la la. Inani fite tala. Anye munganya woku chara. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Come closer. Oh my baby, wingora. Nuiranza kuoza. Pendufa Mendoza. Gayo bari rancho koza ukanyemeza. Jenda gachutango toza uranoza. Inana sinaeza. Imifungo njenda pesa. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la la. Inani fite tala. Anye munganya woku chara. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la la. Inani fite tala. Anye munganya woku chara. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, don't keep me waiting. Nafata naga konji. Find some time to the twembi. Yeah. Inera gushiduka. Zinere gukanguka. Nizo shaka kwibuka. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la la. Inani fite tala. anye munganya wokuchara chara. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, lara, lara. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya wokuchara chara. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, pretending. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy.
Music by Vix Prince with Bendy, the remix. Thank you for being here, dear Upsider. Welcome to the show. We're in each other's company until 4 p.m. Just in case you've just tuned in, well, we're still in the first hour of the show, so you're just in time for us to look at matters of public safety. We're going to be catching up with MMC for Public Safety, Mgcine Tswaku, who has confirmed a criminal case that has been opened following a fatal shooting of a 19-year-old young person during the Sean 101 Street Bash out in Soweto. That is one of the townships here in South Africa, and this took place last week. So the case, as we understand it, was registered at the Diepkloof police station and relates to alleged violations of Safety for Sports and Recreation Events Act legislation that places responsibility on organizers to ensure the safety of people attending events and those living around them. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about matters of public safety and, of course, focusing on this particular case. 14 minutes into 1, let's take a break.
DJ spin I'm on my way to you. The time is on the loose. I will always fight for truth. If I have the chance to choose, yeah we go. Like every other spiral. My weakness is love. I don't do it for the medals. Cause no me without us. He stands for the people. So I be on my way whenever you think you need to. 1, 2, 3. I'll be one call away. I'll be one call away from you. I'll be one call away from you. I'll be one call away from you.
You know I'm never too far for you, and the world can't wait if I'm waiting on you. So don't leave me waiting long. You know that I got love. Whenever you need some, just call my line. 'Cause the miles ain't nothing but a number. The kids ain't nothing from us. You know we always got each other. If I'm on your mind at any time, just know that I won't go away. Won't go away. Won't go away.
I'll be one call away from you. 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 I'll be one call away from you.
One call coming through on the Upside. Thank you for being here for the Monday edition. We are still trying to get the MMC on the line so we can talk matters of public safety at recreational events, at sports and recreational events, and also look at this particular safety matter or rather the contravening of the Sports and Recreational Act, Events Act, as we see it in our legislation in South Africa. That's a very, very important discussion that we're hoping to have with 17 minutes into 1.
Cheers to rest and renewal. Festive African greetings from Channel Africa. Go on, download the Channel Africa app.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África @ newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has now accused Rwanda of violating the peace deal. Are you surprised at this latest accusation? This is literally days after a signing a ceremony, so to speak.
This is not surprising. I mean, if you ask Paul Kagame, he would also say almost the same thing. One should ask a question. The broker of the peace deal, President Trump, what is it that he wants? Why now? And why is this peace deal being signed in the Americas and not in the Great Lakes? Paul Kagame has never respected Tshisekedi, as often say. Tshisekedi must deal with the problems in his country. He has nothing to do with it. So this peace deal, obviously, when it was signed, one just looked at it and said, this will not last.
Kenny Matiba, former journalist.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Imagine uko jangwani umepotea, mchana juani unatembea, utokapo ni mbali, uendapo ni mbali. Mara ngamia mbebaji akatokea, akukushusha mzigo lokulemea, upata fadhari, pole na safari. And that's what you did to me. Yote 9 ila 10, umeonyesha maana ya upendo, si kwa maneno bali kwa vitendo. Umeridhika na nilicho nacho, pewa tutolea gimacho, siku nikiwa sina twalala. Oh baby twalala. Ah baby, before I close my eyes, mina muomba Mungu akulinde na kusimamie, wendo pacha wangu mie. Eti sikuizi vipi mbona sikusikii tena, sikusikii ukilia, sikusikii ukisema nipo bize na boo, jamani nimeshasema niko bize na baby na msalaba wake nitaubeba, nitaubeba, nitaubeba na nitafika nao kiume, nitaubeba iwe kwenye shida na raha, ama kwenye shibe na njaa, la kwako ndo langu, nitafika nao kiume. Imagine ujifahamu umezimia, umewekewa damu zinaingia, bomba likafunguka, naweza tanyanyuka. Mara daktari wa zamu akaingia, umepata fahamu na mwangalia, machozi yanakuanguka, unatamani funguka. And that's what you did to me. Yote 9 ila 10, unanifurahisha kwenye tendo, na unipe penzi la magendo. Ah baby, before I close my eyes, mina muomba Mungu akulinde na kusimamie, wendo pacha wangu mie. Eti sikuizi vipi mbona sikusikii tena, sikusikii ukilia, sikusikii ukisema nipo bize na buu, jamani nimeshasema niko bize na baby na msalaba wake nitaubeba, nitaubeba, nitaubeba na nitafika nao kiume, nitaubeba iwe kwenye shida na raha, ama kwenye shibe na njaa, kwa kondo langu nitafika nao kiume.
No interruptions, just the music you love on Channel Africa. The Upside, live and real.
Something missing, yeah. What do you do? I'm not too clear. Your attitude shows that you don't care. But you tell me all the thing where me I want you. You they use me, babe. Now I got another bed and you wanna come back to me. I beg you make you leave. I don't want story. I don't want story. You don't make that again. And as I work it out, on my nerves, if it's not working out, let me know if there's something missing, yeah, baby.
SMH featuring Victory and Tempe. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is The Upside. We're still in the first hour of the show. You're welcome to interact with us. We are on all the social media platforms. So whether you're on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Not X, Twitter. That's what I call it. Okay? I call it Twitter. Let's get some music in before we take some sports. Enjoy.
My doctor tells me I'm in need of your medicine. I need your love and I need you, I need everything. Love will go, love me back. Love will go take the last. I need your love and I'm promising you everything. Whoa. Finally spoke my mind. Say you they listen, yeah. Show me the doors to your heart, baby, I'm breaking in, yeah. Finally spoke my mind. Say you they listen, yeah. Show me the doors to your heart, baby, I'm breaking in, yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm in love with it foreign now. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm in love with it foreign now. time now, and I'm thinking about us. Cause you know we got something special, girl, and they can't do it like us now. I've been watching you. Ain't no skips and no rewind. Follow me outside, yeah. I remember the last time I found the snow. Gotta keep my feelings in control. I know you run and tell my secrets. Soon as we done and that's wicked. I don't know the snow. Gotta keep my feelings in control. Last thing is to girl, you're my home. I'ma block the other girls on my phone. Only you, only you. I done spoke my mind. Say you really listen, yeah. Show me the doors to your heart. Baby, I'm breaking it, yeah. Finally spoke my mind. Say you did listen, yeah. Show me the doors to your heart. Baby, I'm breaking it, yeah.
Chinonso Abima Amadi is his ID name, identification name, but we know him as Nonso Amadi, coming through with Foreigner. He is a September baby, born in Nigeria, and coming through with just some sublime music that is perfect for this time of the year. Welcome to the Upside, and thank you very much for joining us. It is just unfortunate that we were not able to unpack matters of public safety with the Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety, Mgcini Tswaku, who was really meant to have a conversation with me around a case that was opened after a fatal shooting of a youngster out in the township of Soweto. But let's see what happens. Miracles have happened on the show before. We might just be able to get hold of him. Otherwise, you're most welcome to pitch in. If you happen to catch this broadcast live, talk to us about what public safety looks like in your particular city on the African continent. Whether you're in Nairobi, whether you're in Mbabane, Eswatini, whether you're in Johannesburg, in South Africa, whether you are in Kigali, in Rwanda, whether you are, listen, it doesn't matter, in Addis Ababa, wherever you're listening from, what does public safety look like in your particular city? We'd love to hear from you. Get in touch with us on our social media platforms. It's 1:30. Let's check in with sports.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Sports on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibu Dimakura with your latest sports news and the Sawa. So Uganda drew 2-2 with Morocco Armed Forces in Rabat over the weekend in one of the two preparation matches ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Now, they are also playing a friendly on Wednesday against fellow finalist Gabon as they continue to fine-tune their preparations for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament, where they are in Group C for this year's tournament. The Cranes, who have recalled veteran goalkeeper Dennis Onyango from Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa, have been in Casablanca for a week already as they get ready for their opening Group C match against Tunisia in Rabat on the 23rd of December. Coach Paul Pat said he was hoping that Ugandans will deliver a tournament performance that matches their hard work. And of course, that hard work being seen in training at the moment, the build-up to the AFCON tournament. We'll stay with the AFCON. Senegal head coach Papi Thiaw has named his 28-man final squad for the upcoming AFCON tournament, selecting 3 players carrying injuries as the reigning African champions prepare to defend their crown in Morocco. The Teranga Lions, who lifted the trophy for the very first time back in 2022, begin their campaign on the 23rd of December against Botswana before facing Benin and then the DR Congo in Group D. Despite concerns over fitness, Thiaw insist all 3 doubtful players are expected to recover in time for the tournament. So a major talking point is the inclusion of Ismaila Sarr, Habib Diarra, as well as Asana Diao, all of whom have been considered doubtful for the competition. Asana Diao suffered a thigh injury for Como just last weekend, while Habib Diarra has not played since undergoing groin surgery in September for Sunderland. At the same time, Ismaila Sarr has missed Crystal Palace the last 3 matches after suffering ankle ligament damage against Manchester United. Well, Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk has stressed that Mohamed Salah's importance after a 2-0 Premier League win over Brighton Hove Albion at Anfield this past Saturday, adding that he was hopeful the Egyptian would stay at the club after the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Salah returned to Liverpool's squad on Saturday following a turbulent week after the forward's scathing criticism of the club's raised uncertainty over his future at the club. Now, Salah has accused the club of throwing him under the bus and also claimed his relationship with Slot had broken down in a fiery outburst that took place last weekend following the team's 3-3 draw against Leeds United in the Premier League. So he'll now join Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. The tournament starting officially this coming Sunday, the 21st of December, concluding on the 18th of January. On to some netball news now. After South Africa successfully defended the Africa Cup of Nations crown after a record-extending 5th title following an emphatic 56-36 victory over Uganda in the final in Lilongwe, Malawi on Sunday night, head coach Jenny van Dijk has applauded the host nation and its fans for staging a memorable tournament. Van Dijk praised the electric atmosphere created by the Malawian supporters, even though the hosts were not involved in the final on Sunday night. The Proteas were tasked with defending the title and reaffirming their status as the queens of African netball, and they delivered in a dominant fashion. South Africa, by the way, completed the 1-week championship unbeaten. Let's hear from coach Jenny van Dijk.
Thank you for Malawi for hosting such a fantastic Africa Cup, just such a fantastic arena, and so many people came out to support the game today without even Malawi playing in it. So thank you for a fantastic tournament. Oh yeah, look, we know Uganda will make you work all day long on that netball court. We knew we had to come in strong. We knew that this game will be won in the circle. So we had a very good look at how they do things different within their circle without Mary being here for this tournament.
And finally, American pop superstar Mariah Carey will be the first major music act in the opening ceremony of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games, organisers having confirmed the news in a statement on Monday. Carey will perform at Milan's San Siro Stadium on the 6th of February at the launching of the Games, with her appearance included to reflect the ceremony's central theme of harmony, combining music and sport to highlight values such as inclusion, respect and cultural exchange. Well, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to send us an email. That's to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. It is 13:36 p.m. Central African Time. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Let the good times roll. From the 10th of October, make a note. Channel Africa is stepping into a brand new era with the launch of our upgraded website and app. It's easy, fresh, and always on your fingertips. Wherever you are in the world, Africa's voice is just a click away. The future of Channel Africa goes live from the 10th of October. Don't miss the moments.
All right, let's do a quick check-in with the business desk to find out what the latest is.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Matseko, and good afternoon. South Africa has recorded foreign direct investment outflows of $1.25 billion in the third quarter of 2025, down from outflows of $4.3 million in the second quarter. The South African Reserve Bank said in its quarterly bulletin that the outflows are mainly due to Anglo American's sale of its remaining equity in Valterra Platinum. South Africa's Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities has warned of an increased risk of financial abuse targeting women and persons with disabilities during the festive season. This includes controlling access to money, misusing incomes or social grants, forcing debt in their names, or exploiting their economic dependence. The department's spokesperson, Cassius Selala, has called for vigilance during this time.
During the festive season, many perpetrators may intensify these tactics, leaving women and persons with disabilities financially trapped. The department urges women and persons with disabilities to remain vigilant and emphasizes that economic abuse is recognized as a form of domestic violence under South African law.
British American Tobacco, BAC, has announced it will shut down its operations in Mozambique. The decision is expected to increase pressure on South African authorities to curb the flow of illegal cigarettes, which the company says have eroded its sales by volumes by 50% over the past 5 years, listed in both Johannesburg and London. BAT confirmed its departure from the Mozambican market, though it did not provide specific reasons for the withdrawal. Innocent Simosa has the details.
British American Tobacco, BAT Mozambique, once commanding more than 90% of the country's cigarette market, has confirmed it will withdraw from the Mozambican market. However, spokesperson Daniel Munden declined to disclose the timeline for the exit or the potential impact on jobs. What economic impact could BAT's exit have on Mozambique's tobacco value chain and employment levels?
The African Development Bank has opened a donor pledging conference today for its fund that lends money to low-income countries on favorable terms, seeking to offset a retreat in U.S. support that threatens its $25 billion target. Chanduka Lekeke has the details.
Earlier this year, the Trump administration withheld a $197 million tranche pledged in the previous replenishment round for the African Development Fund, ADF, raising doubts about Washington's contribution ahead of the two-day meeting in London. The AFDB, which is Africa's biggest development lender, says the U.S. will send a representative to the talks, but it remains unclear whether it will commit funds.
China will fall out of Germany's top 5 export destinations for the first time since 2010, dropping to 7th place as shipments decline 10% to $95.4 billion this year. An economic promotion agency, Germany Trade and Investor, predicts that China, which was in 5th place last year, will be overtaken by both Britain and Italy. According to the agency, China's share of total German exports will fall to 5.2% this year, from around 7.5% in 2021. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 451. Botswana 13 pula 51. Kenya 128 shilling 40. In Zambia 23 kwacha 1. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you a 5 ruble 42. Russia 80 rubles 2. India 90 rupees 53. China 71.5. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 rand 87 cents. 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold $4,344 and platinum $1,744 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $61.39 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabiso Lohoko.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. The voice of the continent, now online, with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more. Africa, It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kuduli bwanji ndi Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
Faceless coming through with Venus on Channel Africa. Welcome to the Monday edition of The Upside. Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety, Mqini Tswaku, has confirmed that a criminal case has been opened, this following a fatal shooting of a 19-year-old young person during the Sean 101 Street Bash that took place in Soweto. And this is a case that was registered, I believe, at the local police station out in Diepkloof and relates to alleged violations of the Safety and Sports Recreation Events Act. I hope I'm saying it correctly. So this is a very serious issue, and I think what sits at the crux of this matter is the fact that this incident has ignited a lot of debate around unauthorized street bashes, event planning and accountability as the festive season is now here. And we're going to talk about it. So I believe we've got Mr. Tswaku on the line. MMC, welcome to Channel Africa. Thank you for the time.
Hello, good afternoon to yourself and also to the listeners of Channel Africa. I'm Dr. Tswaku.
Thank you, Dr. Tswaku.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Can you clarify what specific provisions of the Safety at Sports and Recreational Event Act are being investigated, particularly in this case, and who may be ultimately held accountable for what happened?
No, the person who will be held accountable is the event organizer. So before you can have any event, you need to kickstart a process called JOC. Mm-hmm. A JOC, you have to notify the police station of what is when is your event and what type of event. And then what it does, it kicks out a process of a joint operation committee where they invite all the stakeholders, your police, Metro Police, your departments in the city and all of that. And then once you're done with that process as well, you still need to go to the city, to the compliance department in the city of Joburg, just to ensure that all those documents that have been submitted by yourself, which is the plan of the event, the risk assessment of the event, the medical plans, all of them. I've got the whole checklist. It's just that it's historical, or it's just been a culture, especially for the townships and other organizers not to comply with this process. But you have to do that. But in this case, the event organizer is going to be held liable because he did not go through the process. Apparently, this has been an event that has been going on. It's an annual event of the community and all of that. It's just unfortunate that this incident happened afterwards.
Okay, so let's just unpack the nitty-gritties, Dr. Tswaku, because organizers are arguing that the shooting was not directly linked to this particular bash itself. Sure. So how will authorities then determine responsibility when an incident occurs within the vicinity of this particular unauthorized event, as it were?
You are responsible for the event. You are responsible for the event from the cradle to the grave. So it was also came out, remember when there was that artist at the FNB, I forgot his name. People were mugged outside. So they had to get to a point where what did we do? Inside the stadium, everything went up very well, but outside, there was sort of you can say inverted commas, not enough visibility of police. There was other people, they were Ubering, and there was just chaos. And then the time that the event got finished, necessary plans, e-hailing, bus, and everything like that. So in this instance, is that when you plan, that's why these guys, they've never went to a jog. So in a jog, when you plan when the people are being picked up by the bus, at their places, the buses must comply with public liability, all those things. We check that. And then the routes that the buses must take to the event, in there, okay, sharp, where they're going to be parking. At the end, we say, how are the people going to be getting out? Are they going to the buses? Are they going to the taxis? What time is the event is going to be finished? So that at the end, you're saying that what could go wrong? People getting mugged, people getting lost in looking for the bus, and then what are we going to do if people are getting lost? We must have what is called a lost and found area or a tent or like that. We do publicize it. All those who are lost, please come into this corner. We do get it in any events, like probably 200 to 300 people that are lost, and then we start calling their parents and everything. So in this instance, if the guys did a planning, where is this thing? Is in Soweto. What time is it going to be coming out? How many people? What are the risks that are there? Because in the joint committee as well, we've got what is called the crime intelligence. They do the analysis. They tell you, Mr. Tswaku, there are people who are going to be coming to your rally for a protest, or there are people who are going to disrupt. In this case, we could have said that, what is the crime rate in Soweto? Who are the people who are known being disruptive and all of that? Then crime intelligence, they present that. And then they will go into the community, listen, because the people who mugged these people that were coming out there are the people who've been raped. It's a gang. There's a gang, I think it's a Mapiano gang or something, if I got it right. They are going to taverns currently, and they're going to places of entertainment. They go and rob people of their cell phones and all of that. But that information, you get it from the JOC meeting. But what could go wrong on this thing? Then we do a high police visibility. We also go to all the areas there and ensure that there is undercover units that from the JMPD of Kizu got a result like that. So what I'm saying is that is the event that thing happened is as a result of the people coming from his event, not far away from that place, because people were coming there. So that's why it's very important for the planners. We're not stopping the guys to do events. We do help them, but they need to give public safety heads up.
Okay.
And I'm saying public safety, we're going to have an event. This is how it is. Okay, then we advise them. If there's monetary values, we discuss them with the mayor. Mayor, can we waiver here? And then we just say to the guys, JMPD, undercover unit of JMPD, there's going to be a very critical event. These are the threats that are there.
Dr. Tswaku.
Inside and outside, yeah.
Okay, Dr. Tswaku, I think just in the interest of really keeping this bite-sized so the listener is able to understand, let's take a quick break. We're going to return because I really want to establish understanding as to how the city balances enforcing the law, but also giving young people alternatives for expression, especially at this time of the year. We'll be back.
Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mokoenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We are in conversation with Dr. Tshwago in his capacity as the Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety, looking at a criminal case that involves a fatal shooting of a young person out in Soweto. This took place last week, but also just relevance to this particular conversation is around public safety at this time of the year. And also just getting an understanding of Safety at Sports and Recreational Event Act and what that means as part of our legislation. Dr. Tshwago, let's talk about these unofficial street bashes, because they don't just happen in Soweto, they happen across townships in South Africa, you know, and they often happen because, or are organized rather, because young people feel excluded from formal or regulated spaces, as it were. So how is the city then going to balance enforcement with providing safety, I guess, and also alternatives for young people to express themselves?
Look, I'm with the young people. I love you guys. No problem. I was young before. I know what you want. And trust me, the city, we don't want to really to be that guy. We want you. It has been a long year. You need to have fun and all of that. But let us do it responsibly. The idea that you are coming up with, come and process it out. We're open with the public safety. I'm planning to have something like this in a park. Okay, is the park available? No problem, brother. You can go ahead. And then this is what you need to do. Fire rationale. MMC, we don't have the money. And it's just that I want to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, fine. Let us see if we can have EMS to really assist you. What else are you going to do? Let us, okay, how long are you going to be this thing? Up until what time? Okay, up until 10 or 11 o'clock MMC. But now we ask the community, are you fine with it? To 10, 11 like that? No problem. We look after them. We do visibility and ensure that good what they do and have fun and drink their holy water responsibly. They don't drink and drive, and just be very careful, loud hail and all of that. We are very open. We are parenting. We are parents as well. Want the guy to really go out. But if you are going to open up, the issue for the streets is that bashes, you just don't wake up in the morning and close the street. It does not happen like that. It's anarchy. Ayenziwa. It may be in a park. You want to do a park, but also we just have to talk to the community that you are going to be bashing up until 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then we say community, normally we can push up until 12. Because there are people sometimes in Soweto or everywhere in Orange Farm who calls us, but it is a nuisance. This guy has been doing this thing for almost 6 months like that. So, but we must just have to be responsible. Contact us. Let us advise you. Let us be aware. You might not have the necessary amount. Myself and the mayor and some of the MMCs, we've been thinking of waiving some of the costs. But we're here to help. There are some other people, it was a quarter function, a very big function, but the organizers were having problem with compliances and monies like that. I said to them, no problem. The city says you are not going to comply, but I'm going to deploy JMPD and the EMS to really advise you when you are coming to a critical position now, to a point where anarchy is about to happen. So you must take a decision. You want to carry on, as we advise you not to, or you are going to, abide to whatever we want to advise you. So we do go in this area on an advisory basis. Yeah, but the one of the street bash, please, no street bashes. It's not allowed. We're going to confiscate your system and then arrest the guys who are organizing that. Just go to a park, okay, or just say the community leaders out there, in the city of Johannesburg. Contact us, tell us your plans. We can advise you, yay or nay. We don't want to stop your events. Have fun, but be responsible. But we'll direct you to a right path. That's
Okay. We need more information, just very briefly, Mr. MMC, in terms of how authorities are engaging with communities, because the issue here is the loss of lives, which is something we want to prevent going forward. So with that concern in mind, how will the city improve early engagement, which I think is very important when communication happens between communities and the authorities, so that we can prevent the loss of lives going forward?
No, the thing that we're doing, I think the media is actually really helping a lot. I've been getting a lot of outreach. So we even taken a decision with the director of operations responsible for regional deployment of HMPD that you must issue a media statement, and the outreach program of the EFF must go into communities with flyers, everything, to say before you can start an event or you are thinking of having an event, just please tell JMPD that this is what we are going to do. We're going to advise you on how to move forward. And then also we're going to try and get consent from the neighbors. Our neighbors, they're not those people. But the MMC, they can push till 10 or 11, at least 12, but no, we have to go to work. We are very tired. But just that, event organizers, they are very rude, and they must stop doing. They are very rude. They have a very unbecoming approach, and they are very arrogant. They may just reach out. We don't want to stop them on being those kind of people. We understand what happened right now, and we've seen that, but maybe people, they don't understand this issue of application of the event. I mean, on the historically black, even myself, I don't want to say that. When I used to DJ before going out, now I used to take out the system Yamdanga, be back in the middle of the road, and then did that as car. Let's go. So, but there are processes. There's JMPD events number. You can call it. There's a SUPACU. We'll advise you. I know that some of them, they say decline. You don't come A, B, C, and D. They call myself and the mayor. We call the guy, the department, said, guys, in any case, let's let the event carry on, but let's get JMPD. Let us get EMS, especially these. I want to know the likely loss of life. It is quite small, but with the big bashes where you're expecting 5,000, 2,000 people, we warn the organizer, my brother, my guy, you are going to have an anarchy here. And then there's a not proper document is in place legally.
Okay.
If anything happens here,
Dr.
you are going to be arrested. Yeah.
Dr. Chwaku, thank you for your generosity of spirit and for sharing the information. All the best, particularly with this case, and we hope that this will not happen again. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you very much, madam. Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Chwaku, joining us in his capacity as the Johannesburg MMC for Publicity. At 2 o'clock, let's check in with the news.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Matsako. Top stories: Asawa death toll in Morocco, floods rises to 37, and efforts continuing to find an end to the Russia and Ukraine conflict. Good afternoon. The death toll in the flash floods triggered by torrential rains in Morocco's Atlantic coastal province of Safi has risen to 37. Authorities say 14 people were still receiving medical care, including 2 who are in intensive care. Heavy rain on Sunday flooded homes and shops in the old town of the port city of Safi, sweeping away cars and cutting many roads in and around the city. Schools have been suspended as residents assess damage and cleaned flooded homes. Morocco is experiencing heavy rain and snowfall on the Atlantis Mountains after 7 years of drought that emptied some of its main reservoirs. The Ugandan military has confirmed it is holding a Catholic priest who went missing nearly 2 weeks ago, accusing him of involvement in violent subversive activities. In a brief statement, the military said Father Dusedit Sekabira had been arrested and was in lawful custody and would be charged in court. The Catholic diocese in the city of Masaka previously said Father Sekabira was kidnapped by men in Ugandan army uniform. The church has not responded to the military's accusations as Uganda prepares to hold elections next month. It faces growing scrutiny from human rights groups over reports of enforced disappearances and prolonged detention without trial. South Africa's presidency says efforts to bring home young South African men allegedly lured into fighting in Ukraine-Russia war are complex and highly sensitive. Speaking at a media briefing this morning at the Union Buildings in Pretoria, presidential spokesperson Vincent Makwenya said the men are in grave danger and that the government is engaging both Russia and Ukraine with a particular focus on Russian authorities. It's reported that they were unknowingly absorbed into Russian military forces. Makwenya says he's securing their return remains government's priority.
The process to retrieve those young men remains a very sensitive process. They are in a dangerous environment. They are facing grave danger to their lives. And we are still in discussions with various authorities, both in Russia as well as in Ukraine, to see how we can free them from the situation they're in. In fact, the emphasis is more with the authorities in Russia and less so with the authorities in Ukraine, because the information that we have is that they were bungled into the Russian military forces.
Eritrea has announced its withdrawal from the East African Regional Bloc IGAD, citing concerns that the organisation has strayed from its founding principle. The move comes amid heightened tensions with Ethiopia over access to the Red Sea, raising fears of renewed conflict in the Horn of Africa. Professor and Pan-Africanist and political analyst Mama Muchi elaborates.
Eritrea first left in 2007, then it joined again in 2023, and now again it's leaving now in 2025. So this coming and going, there must be some genuine discussion about what does it mean to have the Horn of Africa countries. How can they also collaborate, not allow external actors to do like we have now, as you notice, the Sahel area, Burkina Faso, Niger, and they are now creating one flag. At least they are trying, and it's not easy. France is against them, and some of the ECOWAS countries, the big countries, but at the same time, they are trying their best. So is there any chance we could work on how the regional integration, security, peace prevails?
Further high-level talks will take place in Germany's capital Berlin today. This as diplomatic efforts intensify to try and end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia's President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. He'll also attend the summit involving key European allies in the evening. The European Union's police policy chief, Kaja Kallas, says Kyiv needs strong security guarantees in the event of a peace deal.
We have one aggressor and one victim. The one that needs security guarantees is Ukraine, not Russia. In the last 100 years, Russia has attacked at least 19 countries, some as many as 3 or 4 times. None of those countries has ever attacked Russia, so they don't need any security guarantees. The security guarantees are needed for everybody else.
Recapping the top story this hour, the death toll in the flash floods triggered by torrential rains in Morocco's Atlantic coastal province of Safi has risen to 37. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Mwepe.
SABC News. The African perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
to 2 p.m. in Central African Time. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you've been here since 1 p.m., we greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, if you've just started listening, welcome to The Upside. The Monday edition is officially here until 4 p.m. in Central African Time. My name is Matsheko Mosito, here to host the show for you. And every single Monday, as per tradition on the show, we look at matters to do with property. Property, whether we're talking investment, whether we're doing a frequently asked questions with property practitioners, anything goes on the property segment. And today we're looking at a wave of housing scams that is sweeping through the city of Johannesburg. And we are going to be speaking to, I believe, the Human Settlement MMC, Lungi Mabaso, who was talking about syndicates that are posing. Now they've taken it up a notch. They're posing as government representatives online and asking people to pay fees so that they can secure an RDB house. Very criminal activity. This is a scam of very big proportions. We need to talk about it and also just look at just preventative measures that communities can take against these scammers that are really out to take people's hard-earned money and promising them houses that just simply do not exist. So the laws around RDP houses is going to be significant. Housing scams in general in the city of Johannesburg, another big conversation. Have you been scammed? Have you been a victim of the scam? Listen, if you happen to catch this broadcast live, I really would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this discussion around housing scams, whether you've been scammed in Johannesburg or any other city on the continent. I'd love to hear what your story is all about. You can get hold of us on Facebook. It's a good place to place your comment. You can tweet us using the hashtag The Upside at Channel Africa 1 is the Twitter handle, or you can find us on TikTok and Instagram.
As 2025 draws to a close, we pause to honor the spirits that connect us. The festive season reminds us of what truly matters: family, community, and unity. No matter where you gather or reflect, Channel Africa is with you, bringing you stories and voices that are shaped by the African perspective.
Something significant happened on this day. Asanda, you were a baby, I'm sure. I'm not even sure if you were born. No, you were a baby, yeah.
Yoga. Matsheko is still trying to convince me and look me over.
I've done that already, and you're going to come now on the journey.
I will try.
From all of us to all of you, may your season be safe and peaceful. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Tumeona chapisho mapema hii leo ya kwamba Wizara ya Mambo ya Nje ya nchini Marekani imesema inapitia upya uhusiano wake na nchi ya Tanzania. Pengine taarifa hii imepokelewaje na wananchi wa Tanzania?
Cha kwanza tumeiona taarifa ambayo imetoka hii leo. Sisi kwetu taarifa hii haikutushangaza wala haikutushtua kwa sababu tulishaona taarifa kama hiyo imetoka kwenye ubalozi wa Marekani nchini Tanzania, ikiwa imetolewa na Bwana Tom Pigott.
Umezungumza kwa kina kabisa. Haya ni malalamiko ambayo yamekuwa yakijitokeza mara kwa mara. Unadhani sasa je, wana hoja ya msingi?
Unauliza maswali mazuri sana na maswali ya tafakari. Maswali ambayo hayawezi kujibiwa kwa dakika moja au kwa siku moja. Ni maswali yanayohitaji tafiti, yanayohitaji kusoma.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you. The Upside, live and real.
Kitoka molele dipilo ke na le ngwaga tse tharo ke betsa comedy marapo video la me ke bofelo ke batla go tshwana le tshepo ke batla go tshwana Khalifo ke spana ka thata ke tinto 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 tinto Dindo kana ke khale ke phanda chomi di pizza mabitso bo khanka ke tsoga sa brush le meno batho ba bua ma breath ya dampa batho ba rata go nyatsa tota ke pala mebala ya khaka ke rata go poma di phankga mare ke na le ngwana ya ngwana ke wantla ke batla go vala go panda mathata pelo ya khanda tota ke batla go spana ke tsoga masego ke khanga ke dilo ke bona satane a lonto ke tsena ke reke ke rapela thata ba dilo di gano thamalla yeah back in the days go le thata ke khala ba still ke tswela ke hustler ke rata go bona mamalla ke batla go mona galalla kana ke bright tone ska bona ke bopa mawanyatsa kana ke braga ska nyatsa bo shibidi jaka khale ke tuka molelo diphilo ke na le ngwaga tse tharo ke betsa comedy marapo bizo la me ke bofelo ke batla go tshwana le tshepo ke batla go tshwana tlhalefo ke spana ka thata ke tinto 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 macheru ba tsebe ba rata makaka ba bona le broke de tell you tell ba bitsa mabitse bo hani bo sweet di zaka di tsena o reka di sofa di bilu di dollar yo mama itumetse di tala tsa fake di batla fambola o fambola thata ba never about to say they cursing you ba batla o taga ke na le ngwaga tse pedi tse tharo ke tshaba bokete these days all my fans but I can drop it yeah I'm gonna do it again yeah again and again and again yeah always do that I can yeah rap onko muntu funa malipel die this leg perter tama all start kimotler all is new I'ma be the best yeah kana ke kwala dipini in case you thinking that ntse ke kwalwa yeah kana ke spana le wine in case you thinking that ke managilo khale ke tuka molelo diphilo ke na le ngwaga tse tharo ke betsa comedy marapo bizo la me ke bofelo ke batla go tshwana le tshepo ke batla go tshwana tlhalefo ke spana ka thata ke tinto 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 tinto tinto
14:14 on the digital clock. Thank you very much for tuning in. William Last coming through on the upside with the Tinto. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's a pleasure to have you here. A wave of housing scams is seemingly sweeping through Johannesburg very quickly, with criminals now using the faces and names of senior officials to deceive desperate residents. And the City of Johannesburg's Human Settlement MMC, Mlungisi Mabaso, has spoken, saying that syndicates are posing as government representatives online and asking people to pay fees to secure RDP houses. The scam only came to light when residents arrived at his office with proof of payment, convinced that they had paid the city, only to discover that this is a complete fraudulent activity, that it took place. So at the city, as the city rather moves to clamp down on what has been happening and this widespread of abuse of RDP houses and community members, it is now up to the authorities to come through and warn residents to remain vigilant, and also stressing that RDP houses are meant to provide long-term security for low-income families, not as a means to scam people or to, cuts on how to get cash and how to get it as quickly as we possibly can. So let's have the conversation around this particular housing scam with Tshekiso Machike, who is joining us in his capacity as spokesperson for the Department of Human Settlements. Thank you very much for joining us, Tshekiso. Welcome to Channel Africa.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to your viewers.
Perhaps let's start by establishing, when did you realize that this housing scam is happening in the city of Johannesburg?
Well, we are inundated with reports and calls from members of the community, particularly those who are affected, about some of these scams that are making the rounds of people being robbed their monies in the name of giving them houses, which are, as far as we're concerned as government, particularly the Department of Human Settlements, these government subsidized houses are for free, given to the needy South Africans. So we can confidently confirm that a number of people, they did reach out to the office of the minister in the department in particular to indicate some of these misfortunes and criminal activities that they are experiencing on a daily basis. However, we have also impressed on our people to report some of these criminal activities to the relevant authorities for them to get justice.
Okay, let's establish exactly how these scammers are impersonating city officials, because that in itself is a criminal offense. You know, what red flags should residents be looking out for so that they can avoid falling victim going forward?
I think the starting point is for unsuspecting people to really be able to identify red flags when a person requests some money for him or her to be allocated a house. That's where basically the problem starts, when a person says to you, I am looking at the list, and in terms of the list, you are about to be allocated a house in Soweto or somewhere in Lifereng or somewhere in Randfontein, just for an example. And therefore, for me to quicken and expedite your process of allocation, kindly give me this amount. Here are my banking details and so forth and so on. So people must be able to identify those red flags as soon as they are requested money for them to be allocated the houses that ordinarily, as far as we're concerned as government, should be free subsidized houses.
All right. We are 18 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African time. On the line with Tshekiso Machike, spokesperson for the Department of Human Settlements. And we're looking at housing scams. And I think when we return from break, I really want us to talk about the victims. Is there recourse for them? I think that's a very, very important element to this conversation. Stay tuned.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
We're looking at a wave of housing scams that is sweeping through the city of Johannesburg, where criminals are said to be using the faces and names of senior officials to deceive desperate residents, scamming them of their hard-earned money and promising them RDB houses that seemingly don't exist. And we're talking about this very serious issue at this time. Tshekiso Machike, spokesperson for the Department of Human Settlements. Tshekiso, I think let's turn this into a masterclass somewhat. Let's talk about legitimate ways to acquire an RDP house in South Africa, because perhaps we're falling prey to these scams because we don't really know what the process is. We don't even know if we actually fit the credentials we don't know if we fit the profile of somebody who is considered for an RDP house. So walk us through the process of how to legitimately get an RDP house in South Africa.
People who are needy, who are unable to qualify for any bonded housing or a house through a bank. Therefore, government intervenes to address the issues of human settlements by allocating the needy people government subsidized low-cost houses. And the process, ordinarily, it's administered by municipalities because the Department of Human Settlements at national level comes in after data has been collated through the what we call National Housing Needs Register. And in that National Housing Needs Register, that's where the Department of Human Settlements, working in tandem with municipalities and provinces, leveraging what we call the intergovernmental framework of the three spheres of government working together, that the department therefore then begins to have an appreciation of the number of people per province and per local municipality who are in need of houses. Then the process also of collecting that information assists government to be able to check whether people are correctly qualifying or others are not, because there are also a number of dynamics that you need, factors that you need to take into consideration, because of also inward migration of people moving from one province to the other, looking for greener pastures, particularly moving into metros where there are ostensibly economic opportunities that people might pursue. So it happens that sometimes a person will move from Mpumalanga, go to Durban, city of eThekwini, while he or she was allocated a house perhaps in Mpumalanga, and then goes to the big city and also register again. And then the system will automatically be able to pick you up to say, hey, hang on, we think this is double dipping. Therefore, we are unable to allocate to a house on the basis of the fact that the system tells us that in terms of your background information, you are already a house owner in MLO or somewhere in Mpumalanga, and therefore we are unable to give you a house. And that also, I think it's important that I also take this opportunity to express a point that that particular factor, it's a contributing factor basically to the backlog that we're talking about of housing, because some of these factors are when the backlog of houses is reported are not taken into consideration, that there might be people who are double dipping, there might be people who ordinarily do not qualify for government subsidized low-cost houses, and they are part of the housing needs register, which when you analyze it, it will give you a huge disproportionate a number of people who are in the housing list and constituting what you call a backlog. However, some of these fundamental factors might not be taken into consideration when actually a housing needs register is consolidated. Then we'll move from a housing needs register to what we call HSS, the housing subsidy scheme. That is the final list now, that the Department of Human Settlements working together in the context of how I have clarified it or articulated it, that we work with municipalities, provinces, then we allocate budget, leveraging Section 26 of the Constitution, that the department has got the responsibility to provide houses within its available resources to the needy people and correctly qualifies. Then we allocate on the basis of the information that we get from municipalities and provinces. That in this particular financial year, for argument's sake, the department has
Teki, so we're battling with your line, and you know this information is incredibly important. But can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please continue. Although we've got to just keep it short.
Okay, I was just trying to contextualize the issues which are relative.
We're really battling with this line. We can't hear a thing. Unfortunately, we're going to send you back to our producer, Tsekiso Machige, a spokesperson for the Department of Human Settlements. And I mean, it's really a lengthy process. You've got to go through the municipality. There's, an HSS process that also comes into play, and so many others. Tsekiso, yes, please continue. I believe we have you back on the line.
Yes. Can you? I hope that I'm clear now.
Yes, you're clear, sir.
Yes, I was trying to give a proper context in terms of how normally the Department of Human Settlement at the national level allocate funds or budget for the building of houses. The process, as you also just alluded, it's a process that is thorough. You need to register in your municipality, the municipality working together with the Department of Human Settlements at the provincial level. They consolidate the list of people that are qualifying for the low-cost houses, subsidized low-cost houses of government. And then the Department of Human Settlements at national level, therefore, allocates budget per financial year on the basis of the available resources. As I indicated, that they will locate this also within the constitutional legislative framework of Section 26, which impresses the Department of Human Settlements through the Housing Act to assist people intervene in terms of building houses within its available resources. And the available resources are also determined by what the National Treasury will be allocating to the department. Therefore, we build on the basis of what we have in our coffers. And the National Department of Human Settlements, it allocates resources on the basis of the data or information that we get from municipalities and provinces.
Okay. So,
yes.
So just very briefly, if I do suspect, people are paying money to secure RDP houses, So if I suspect that I am perhaps engaged in some kind of fraudulent or suspicious activity, is there an office I can go to report this?
Yes, I will give out a call center. The National Department of Human Settlements has got a call center where people can report. Also, people are also impressed to also report to law enforcement authorities because in our view that constitute criminality. It's an outright criminal activity for any person to be selling houses that government ordinarily are building for the needy free of charge. If unsuspecting people are being confronted by this calamity, they've got also a responsibility to contact police. The minister has actually made it clear that anybody who sells a government low-cost subsidized house needs to be apprehended and processed accordingly by the law enforcement authorities. The number of the call center is 088 146 873. My cell phone number is 077 410 5050. People can contact us directly so that we assist them with the process of addressing this problematizing issue of selling of houses by criminals.
Right. This is a very serious issue, and I would like to assume that people will be spoken to in their mother tongue so that they can really understand the law, because the Housing Act is very complicated. HSS is just too complicated. There's just so many jargon that is being used. So I really hope that people really get the help that they need. This is very, very serious, and hopefully when you call the call center or when you call Mr. Machige, you'll be able to be assisted in your own language. Very, very important. We've been addressing the housing scam that is seemingly sweeping through Johannesburg very quickly, with criminals using the faces and names of senior officials to deceive desperate residents. 2:31, let's check in with sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Di Makura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So with 1 week to go before the Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco, DR Congo enter the tournament with confidence but grounded expectations. So the Leopards reached the semi-finals in Cote d'Ivoire last year and secured historic qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, giving them a new status as dangerous outsiders. Drawn in a tough group with Senegal, Benin as well as Botswana, Coach Sebastien Desprez says his side must show their resurgence is built on substance and not circumstance. Algeria head coach Vladimir Petkovic says the team must accept responsibility and rebuild with the courage and unity as they prepare now for the AFCON tournament in Morocco. The Desert Foxes are haunted by back-to-back first-round exits back in 2022 and in 2024, a dramatic fall from their 2019 triumph. Now, those campaigns saw humiliating defeats to Equatorial Guinea as well as Mauritania, and also led to the dismissal of Jamal Belmadi, the coach then of Algeria. Petkovic, appointed after 7 years with Switzerland, has steadied the ship steadied the side with 15 wins in 20 matches, securing qualification for both the AFCON tournament as well as the 2026 FIFA World Cup, co-hosted by the USA, Canada as Mexico. He insists Algeria's first goal is simply to reach the second round, rejecting bold promises of a third continental title. Meanwhile, Uganda drew 2-2 with Morocco's Royal Armed Forces in Rabat over the weekend in one of their two preparation matches that they've scheduled ahead of the AFCON tournament. They are also playing a friendly match on Wednesday against fellow finalist Gabon as they fine-tune their preparations for their Group C campaign. The Cranes, who have recalled veteran goalkeeper Dennis Onyango from Mamelodi Sundowns right here in South Africa, have been in Casablanca for a week already as they get ready for their opening Group C game against Tunisia in Rabat on the 23rd of December. Coach Popat said he was hoping the Ugandan side will deliver a tournament performance that matches their hard work. Moving on to netball news now, after South Africa successfully defended their Africa Cup of Nations crown with a record-extending fifth title following an emphatic 56-36 victory over Uganda in the final in Lilongwe, Malawi on Sunday night, the head coach of the side, Jenny van Dijk, applauded the host nation, in fact, and its fans for staging a memorable tournament. Van Dijk praised the electric atmosphere created by the Malawian supporters, even though the host side were not involved in the final. The Proteas were tasked with defending their title and reaffirming their status as the queens of African netball, and they delivered in a dominant fashion. South Africa completed the one-week championship unbeaten. Let's hear now from Coach Jenny van Dijk.
Thank you for Malawi for hosting such a fantastic Africa Cup. Just such a fantastic arena, and so many people came out to support the game today without even Malawi playing in it. So thank you for a fantastic tournament. Oh yeah, look, we know Uganda will make you work all day long on that netball court. We knew we had to come in strong. We knew that this game will be won in the circle. So we had a very good look at how they do things different within their circle without Mary being here for this tournament.
We'll conclude with a story now. American pop star Mariah Carey will, for the very first time, be a music act in the opening ceremony of a major sporting event of the Milano Cortina in 2026 at the Olympic Games, with the organisers having confirmed the news on Monday. Carey will perform at Milan's San Siro Stadium on the 6th of February 2026 at the launching of the Games, with her appearance intended to reflect the ceremony's central theme of harmony, combining music as well as sport to highlight values such as inclusion, respect, as well as cultural exchange. And that concludes your sports news at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Call us as well on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update on the upside in the third and final hour of the show. It is 14:36 a.m. Central African time for Channel Africa Sport. I am Musibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
It's 2:37. Tabiso Lehoko standing by at the business desk with the latest news.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Tseko, and a very good afternoon. South Africa has recorded foreign direct investment outflows of $1.25 billion in the third quarter of 2025, down from outflows of $4.3 million in the second quarter. The South African Reserve Bank said in its quarterly bulletin that the outflows are mainly due to Anglo American's sale of its remaining equity in Valterra Platinum. South Africa's Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities has warned of an increased risk of financial abuse targeting women and persons with disabilities during the festive season. This includes controlling access to money laundering, misusing incomes or social grants, forcing debt in their names, or exploiting their economic dependence. The African Development Bank has opened a donor pledging conference today for its fund that lends money to low-income countries on favorable terms, seeking to offset a retreat in U.S. support that threatens its $25 billion target. Now, a report says earlier this year, the Trump administration withheld a $197 million tranche pledged in the previous replenishment round for the African Development Fund, raising doubts about Washington's contribution ahead of the two-day meeting in London. The AFDB, which is Africa's biggest development lender, says the U.S. will send a representative to the talks, but it remains unclear whether it will commit the funds. China will fall out of Germany's top 5 export destinations for the first time since 2010, dropping to 7th place as shipments declined 10% to $95.4 billion this year. An economic promotion agency, a German trade and investor, predicts that China, which is the 5th place last year, will be overtaken by both Britain and Italy. According to the agency, China's share of the total German exports will fall to 5.2% this year from around 7.5% in 2021. A big Japanese manufacturer's business sentiment hit a 4-year high in the 3 months to December, reinforcing market expectations in the central bank while it will raise interest rates this week. But firms expect conditions to worsen 3 months ahead as they fret over the impact of higher U.S. tariffs and a soft consumption, highlighting uncertainty over how the Bank of Japan could eventually push up borrowing costs. The headline index measuring big manufacturers' business confidence stood at 15 in December, up from 14 in September, and matching a median market forecast. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 451. Botswana 13 pula 51. Kenya 128 shilling 40, and Zambia 23 kwacha 1. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5.42. In Russia, it's at 80 rubles 2. India 90 rupees 53. China 7 yuan 5. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 rand 87 cents. 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,344, while platinum is at $1,744 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $61.39 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabisolo Hoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K,
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
Me, I just want me, my people, they visa. So I give them my heart and my liver. If you too stress, you make you leave her. Don't be everybody be believer. Anytime that I pull up, I deliver. Anytime, any arena, I be caught on like Jesus. Before you start to criticize, consider, consider.
Nah, I couldn't see. I was cheating on me. Nah, I couldn't see. I was cheating on
me. I just want to see my people them getting big out. I swear down, make embassy no deny my people visa out. No be Taliban, no be Al-Qaeda, and they do not intend to permanently leave town. Stand with my feet down, me I be leader. So me a new lad, different caliber, taking my niggas around the world every day. Kilometer. Just like I'm deep down, then you could see, say they your body, no be because of me. Now psychology, say psychology, they affect everybody, not me.
Nah, I couldn't see. I was
cheating on me.
Nah, I couldn't see. I was cheating on me.
For the fact I had to fight for my visa, I'm swiping my visa. Kill on shell, I say kilogram, kilometer. My woman got incredible features. Me and the Lua burner, we fly to Ibiza. Make you know the nine, me my visa. Bring a little girl, a little reefer. It's cheaper to keep her. She don't wanna stay, I feel leave her. No be everybody be believer. Hennessy, Casamigos, it's all in a car. I'm at Samoa Jan, the way I hit the bar. Fine boy, no pimple, no tats. I got a V12 under the bonnet. She got plaits. I'm Mario, my princess. Got a peach in my Rolls Royce seats. Her and peach in the villa must I come with a beach. One for the street, 4-5. This toast doesn't come with a speech, you know.
Nah, I couldn't see. I was cheating on
me.
Nah, I couldn't see. I was cheating on me.
My people they visa. So I give them my heart and my liver. If you too stress, you make you leave her. Don't be everybody be believer. Anytime that I pull up, I deliver. Anytime, any arena, I be caught on like Jesus. Before you start to criticize, consider. If I ever said I love you, then I'll always be by your side. If you call on me, then I'll slide. You already know we outside, and I know you gon' ride. Anytime I talk on
Upside, live and real.
I was cheating on me. I was cheating on me.
Me, I just want to see my people dead. Just in peak out. I swear down. Make embassy no deny my people visa.
Scatter city, scatter me, I be akka. For your mata, I be akka go. For your mata, I go carry go. For your mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. If I ever be your man, I go choose you before everybody. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. If I ever be your man, I go choose you before everybody. 2, 3, 4. Call my number +234. What the hell are you waiting for? Fry my brain with your cooking pot, baby. No way to full import. Sexy girl in a blue pin Porsche. Smash up girl, we don't need my phones. Oh my lord, oh Eva, oh Eva. If I ever be your man, I go choose you before everybody. Oh Eva, oh Eva. Fire mata, I be akka go. Fire mata, I go carry go. Fire mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Akka. Fire mata, I be akka go. Fire mata, I go carry go. Fire mata, I go scatter city, scatter town.
Dans mon trône, il me manque une vraie queen. Une vraie. Mais n'a qu'elle là. Je suis tout à toi, t'inquiète pas, je suis sous emprise. Nana Kobalo, Nana Lela, Nana Yo. T'es ma meilleure carte d'Afrique.
Oh Eva, oh Eva. If I ever be your man, I go choose you before everybody. Oh Eva, oh Eva. Fire mata, I be akka go. Fire mata, I go carry go. Fire mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Akka. Fire mata, I be akka go. Fire mata, I go carry go. Fire mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Axi lady from Africa, oh yo yo, original.
Thank you for staying with us. Burna Boy coming through with Thifa featuring Fali Ipupa. West Africa's finest as part of our playlist on the Upside on this Monday, 15 days into the month of December. Thank you for tuning in. 10 minutes exactly till it is 3 p.m. We're fast approaching the last hour of the show. After we take a short break, Sfiso Klope, our social media specialist, is going to be joining me for...
What caught your eye?
Yeah, well, yes.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
There's a Ugandan lawmaker. His name is Atkins Katusabe, who speaks with an American accent in Parliament. So the parliamentarians have complained that we don't understand what you are saying.
Listen to him.
Come on. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a disaster that it could cause
an extinction of an entire community. Going to procedure.
Mr. Speaker, the English that is trying to put this matter here is confusing a number of us and making us miss very serious issue. It needs to speak the common English of Uganda. The English is too much.
Need a piece of paper so that we'll be able to read. The English is too much. I picture him saying order, order, out of order.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time. Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Thank you for staying with us. What caught your eye? We'd love to hear about it. In fact, you can go on our TikTok and we've posted numerous what caught your eyes, and you're welcome to comment there. Perhaps something caught your eye and you'd like to tell us about it. You're welcome to check out Channel Africa on TikTok, and that's where you can find us. Listen, I love to follow Earth Angels. Shopee.
Earth Angels, I need you to elaborate on
Earth
that.
Angels, like just women who are, and men who are just like who love environmental things, who hug trees and take care of the flowers and the plants and the animals, and you know,
you're an
earthy
Earth
people.
Angel.
And they follow the cycles of the moon, and they talk to us about astrology. You know,
Okay.
Earth Angels.
Okay, because I would
them.
say that I could argue that you're an Earth Angel yourself, because you do love nature, you do love wholesome things. You know, I mean, for the longest time, you know, for as long as I've known you, actually, you were a vegan. You know, how shocked I was to find out that, hey, you know, some stuff has changed. But I don't think you're that extreme when it comes to like the other superficial stuff and whatnot. But I would regard you as an Earth Angel, 100%.
I am an Earth Angel. I want to talk about an Earth Angel from Kenya.
Oh, nice.
Because she is breaking all kinds of records. Her name is Trufena Motoni.
Okay.
And she's bagged herself a Guinness record for a 72-hour tree hugging event that she did all by herself. I believe this particular record is still under review, but be that as it may, she is amazing. She's a Kenyan environmentalist, Trufena, as I'd mentioned. She has earned recognition from the Guinness World Records after setting a record for the longest marathon hugging a tree. It lasted a good 48 hours. So the recognition came a day after she completed a separate 72-hour tree hugging attempt. This is the one that's now under review at the Nyeri Governor's Office compound on Thursday, December the 11th. We've got to state the time because we're talking about records here. 12:25 p.m. All right. This is an attempt that's still under review, as I'd mentioned, by GWR or Guinness World Records. And according to Guinness World Records website, the 48-hour feat was achieved in Nairobi between January the 31st and February the 2nd of this year, 2025, which means that it's obviously surpasses the previous record of nearly 24 hours. Why is this such a big deal? Listen, tree hugging is something we don't talk about often enough. Don't before you roll your eyes. It's such a beautiful, wholesome thing. And there's like scientific backing to like the benefits of tree hugging, you know? Like it's a beautiful thing. There are mental benefits, emotional, like it reduces your, have you tried it? Just by the way, before I carry on and khan an like I'm your auntie or something.
I may have hugged a tree in my
may
life.
have.
Yeah. I may have, but it was probably like under the circumstances of, for the sake of saying I'm hugging a tree or climbing up a tree. Do I think there's benefits to like being in touch with nature? Absolutely, but not as intensely as you know. I don't know, man. It's the way you describe it. It's like
I promise you. Think about how you felt when you climbed the tree versus when you climbed something else. Don't you feel like a reduction in stress and anxiety?
Guys.
Don't you feel, like
No.
relaxation in your
No.
physical being?
No. So I need to be impartial, right? And I say this because I also want to give credit to this record, because I'm pretty sure there's like a bigger cause to what this young lady's done. And props to her, big ups. I support it, right? Myself, Sfiso Hlophe, I don't know if I'm like hugging a tree. I don't know. I don't see where the benefit would be for myself, especially for that long. Eventually, now it's like, I don't know. It will start now, being too much on me, I guess. Like, what, you hug it and then what? Like, what?
Okay, a tree has negative ions. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it's got negative ions, and those negative ions, when they obviously transmit frequencies into your body that settles the stress and the anxiety, and good for your mental health and your physical being and all that stuff. I promise you, if you try it again this weekend, you're going to phone me and you're going to say, yes. But I want to just elaborate very quickly on Trifena's reason for this record, because she is an environmentalist, and there's always a bigger mission behind anything that she does, right? So she took on this record challenge to raise awareness about the profound impact of tree hugging on mental and emotional well-being. Did I just say that?
Yes.
She spent over 5 months actually preparing her body for this particular marathon. And I think it's wonderful. I'm actually going to find her so we can talk to her on planting the seed about environmental work and tree hugging.
100%. Look, I think I each to their own. We all have our ways of healing. And yes, I support it. People hug trees, guys. Hug trees. And if there are any benefits to it, I'm sure there are. I just. You know what? Shout out to Fena. I'm with you. Onto what caught my eye.
Tell us, please.
You know what? What caught my eye is very simple, right? Well, it's very short, not simple, because it's actually pretty serious. So, as of yesterday, this, can you imagine? I saw this last night, which gave me a massive shock, because I was now thinking, you know what, every time I must come for what caught your eye, I must bring negative news, like, and you always bring the feel good stuff. But okay, so the Department of Higher Education and Training has issued a formal notice of intent to cancel the registration of 3 private higher education institutions, right? Namely Damlin, City Varsity, and ICISA City Campus, citing prolonged and serious non-compliance with the Higher Education Act. That is serious. Very serious. This is people's lives. We make jokes about, be careful about the institution, especially right now. We're going into the holidays. It's a new year. There's so many matriculants that have graduated, and now, going into university. They're looking for schools, and there's age-old jokes about, hey, find a school in Joburg,
Fly by night.
Yes, fly by night college, and first semester you're here, you go back home, you come back, and now it's a salon, But now, here's a serious thing where you've applied. You were gonna go to Damlin, you're gonna go to ICISA, you're gonna go to City Varsity. These are big names that have had so many graduates, right? People that are contributing to society, people that are, halfway through their studies. What happens now? What are the repercussions? I'm pretty sure, there'll be some sort of arbitration process that happens where there are discussions and whatever is missing gets fixed. But this is serious.
This is very serious. And the names that you mentioned are not small time college institutions.
Absolutely.
These are, they've built a legacy. They're very iconic in their own way. And like you're saying, I think putting the student forward is always important. What happens to them? What does this mean for the fees that they've paid, for the studies that they've already started to embark on? So thank you for that. Actually, that's a story we need to chase and see how far it's going to get, and how the different parties are affected by what's happening.
It is.
But be careful, I guess, going forward.
I think we have, speaking of being careful, Guys, we need to seriously be careful this December. Again, last night, more terrible news. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but I saw a very disturbing video of a young lady, naked in the streets of Cape Town, being carried by security guards. She seems to be out of it, and maybe be controlled by perhaps other substances, whether it's alcohol or something else. It wasn't a pretty sight. People need to take care of themselves. People need to be responsible. It is the festive season. Don't do something that is just going to ruin your life, other people's lives. Because when you do something, you might do something, might be haha, it's a joke. But these are, there's security,
Right.
you're affecting other people around you in your environment and whatnot. But yeah, that's what caught my eye.
Yeah, public safety, a very important one. It is 3:01. Jolani Chulungwepe standing by with the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Matsako. Top stories is Sawa. South Africa reaffirms its commitment to restoring peace in the DRC, and Australia vows stricter gun laws. Good afternoon. South Africa's presidency says it remains firmly committed to supporting efforts to restore peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This follows the recent escalation of violence by M23 rebel group, which has seized the strategic town of Uvira. Speaking at a media briefing in Pretoria today, presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says diplomatic engagements with the DRC are continuing at various levels.
South Africa, through SADC, as well as the AU, and in support of the United Nations efforts in bringing about peace in the DRC, has been seized with efforts to bring about a peaceful solution to the challenges facing the DRC for close to 30 years. And that is a commitment that remains, firmly so. There is ongoing engagements at various levels, diplomatic levels, between ourselves as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo. So those engagements remain ongoing. Yes, indeed. We are monitoring the situation.
Chaos has erupted in the KwaZulu-Natal legislature in South Africa as the Umkhonto weSizwe party disrupted proceedings demanding a secret ballot in the vote of no confidence against Premier Ntami. The motion was brought forth by the MK party. Chaos ensued after Speaker Nondembeko Boyce ruled that the vote will be open. Zanele Buthelezi has more.
Members of the MK party broke into song and dance, disrupting the voting process on the motion of no confidence against Premier Ntami. They were joined by members of the party in the public gallery. The disruption came after the speaker ruled that she was not persuaded to hold a secret ballot after all members of the legislature took part in an open debate on the motion. Tempers fled when police tried to enter the chamber and engaged the MK party members. The group instead pushed them back out and continued to sing and chant while GPU partners, the ANC, IFP and NFP watched on.
The death toll in the flash floods triggered by torrential rains in Morocco's Atlantic coastal province of Safi has risen to 37. Authorities say 14 people were still receiving medical care, including 2 who were in intensive care. Heavy rain on Sunday flooded homes and shops in the old town of the port city of Safi, swept away cars and cut many roads in and around the city. Schools have been suspended as residents assess damage and clean flooded homes. Morocco is experiencing heavy rain and snowfall on the Atlas Mountains after 7 years of drought that emptied some of its main reservoirs. The Ugandan military has confirmed it is holding a Catholic priest who went missing nearly 2 weeks ago, accusing him of involvement in violent subversive activities. In a brief statement, the military said Father Dusedit Sekabira had been arrested and was in lawful custody and was to be charged in court. The Catholic diocese in the city of Masaka previously said Father Sekabira was kidnapped by men in a Uganda army uniform. The church has not responded to the military's accusations. As Uganda prepares to hold elections next month, it faces growing scrutiny from human rights groups over reports of enforced disappearances, prolonged detention without trial. Australia has vowed to introduce stricter gun laws as it begins mourning victims of its worst mass shooting in almost 30 years. Police have accused a father and a son duo of killing 15 people at a Jewish celebration at Sydney's famed Bondi Beach. The incident has raised questions whether Australia's gun laws, among the toughest in the world, need an overhaul. Police say the older suspect held a firearm license since 2015, along with 6 registered weapons. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says his cabinet has agreed to strengthen gun laws and work on a national firearms register to tackle aspects such as the number of weapons permitted by gun licenses. Recapping the top story, the SAWA, South Africa's presidency, says it remains firmly committed to supporting efforts to restore peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This follows the recent escalation of violence by the M23 rebel group, which has seized the strategic town of Uvira. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Mwepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
7 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African Time. We are in the grand finale of the Monday edition of our program until 4 p.m. So we are looking at the Found Her Africa Challenge finale with Folayemi Augusto, founder of TIX Africa. So Miss Augusto here has emerged as the second prize winner amongst 10 women founders from across the African continent who pitched their technological business ideas here in Johannesburg. And this was all happening at the Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day, or was held on Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day. It was a challenge that drew over 1,000 applications, a reminder of the depth of Africa's talent when it comes to tech spaces and the participation of women in the space as well, which is so refreshing. So we're going to talk to Folayemi, and she's going to talk to us about participating in the Found Her Africa Challenge, which we have covered on the show as previously. But if you're hearing it for the first time, we're going to talk about what that is and speak to this grand business idea as put together by Folayemi. Stay tuned.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
Africa at Play with NATO and ETO chairman.
Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. Bafana's opening match is against the Portuguese-speaking nation Angola on the 22nd. What can we expect from Hugo Broos and his charges?
When we went to the previous tournament, we sort of had the underdog tag as a country, and we were a little bit humble. Expectations were not as high as they are now at the moment. So I just felt that players were in a good space psychologically. I just feel that Bafana will still be tournament favorites. But coach Hugo Broos has a lot of work psychologically to make sure that players remain focused, humble, and players are playing without any pressure. Because when South African players are very creative, then we know that the outcomes are very good. it. But when they are under pressure, we know that sometimes the outcomes can be what we don't want to experience.
Coach Thabo Senong.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
Adia telonge, nabina usabwa munyenge, binyola sibi, lobeni mumusima, sidibe ananika enu wanyambe na belemo, tumimbu tumbande, bate ya moe dube, alabe tomba, silane tomba, aye, alabe tomba, silane tomba, we, mama miomba, we, maman n'a pas vu, non, non, non. Maman ne l'a pas vu, non, non, non. Hey, hey, elle ne l'a pas vu, non. Et oui, un emballé, maman ne l'a pas vu, non, non, non. Binyomena luben, matoi lo tate sosenga, mwendi mumwawe, matete na mulema. Sitimbe ananika eno wanyambe na belemo, tumimbu mitumbande, bate ya moe dube, alabe tomba, silane tomba, aye, alabe tomba, silane tomba, we, a maman miomba, we, maman n'a pas vu, non, 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 maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, elle ne l'a pas vu, non, et oui, un emballé, maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, maman n'a pas vu, maman n'a pas vu, non, non, elle ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, elle ne l'a pas vu, non, et oui, un emballé, maman ne l'a pas vu, non, non, non. Anyangwa miwo, alabe tomba, na usatondona, obewa uchungwa jemba munango na timino, nobwe tomba munyenge, alabe tomba, silane tomba, aye, alabe tomba, silane tomba, we, a maman miomba, we, maman n'a pas vu, non, 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 maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, elle ne l'a pas vu, non, et oui, un emballé, maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh. Maman n'a pas vu, non, 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 maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, elle ne l'a pas vu, non, et oui, un emballé, maman ne l'a pas vu, non, 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 eh, eh, elle ne l'a pas vu, elle ne l'a pas vu.
14 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African Time. Coming through with beautiful music from Cameroon, Charlotte Dipanda with Elana Pavu. Elana Pavu, the title of the song. Thank you for tuning in. Let's turn our attention to some standout voices from the Found Her Africa Challenge finale. Folayemi Augusto, founder of TIX Africa, is whom we're going to be speaking to because she emerged as a second place winner amongst 10 women founders from across the African region who pitched their technology businesses here in Johannesburg, where 5 innovators walked away with equity-free grants totaling more than $100,000. This was all happening during Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day, and the challenge drew over 1,000 applications, as I'd mentioned previously. And this just reminds us of the depth of Africa, the depth of our tech space and our talent that is growing in leaps and bounds. And also, I think what's really significant to mention under the Found Her umbrella is the fact that there is a growing role within feminine participation when it comes to the continent's digital future. Very, very significant. So it is a pleasure to welcome Folayemi on the show in her capacity as the founder at TIX Africa, so we can talk about this wonderful business and also coming through and emerging under the second place banner of this particular challenge. Folayemi, welcome to Channel Africa. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really glad to be here to speak to you.
Thank you. Let's talk about TIX Africa. As I understand it, it is all about identifying some gaps within Nigeria's event market. Talk to us about the birth of this particular company.
Amazing, sure. So the idea for TIX started way back in 2018 when then I started a food blog, which became a food festival. And we didn't have a ticketing platform that was self-service to be able to sell tickets online and for people to pay in Nigerian Naira, which is our local currency. And it was absolute chaos at the gates. People were trying to get in, were trying to get their details, and even making payments at the festival was a bit chaotic. And as one would expect on social media, people who came to the event, they were very unhappy, and I got dragged on the internet for days. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to be in this situation again. And my friend, who is a developer, along with my co-founder from the food festival, we got together and we started building the early ideas of TIX, which would become online ticketing that is self-service. Anyone right now in the countries where we are active, which is Nigeria and Ghana, hopefully soon South Africa, you can be able to sell tickets in your local currency online. You don't have to be a developer or know a developer. You can get your idea for your event, be it a food festival, a yoga class, a concert or a conference, and be able to sell tickets online and collect payments.
That sounds amazing. And, you talking about just, one or two mistakes that you've made is really significant, because it means that you're a problem solver. Because as I understand it, TIX Africa now operates in both live and virtual events, which means that you've really extended the offering to cater for what is currently happening. So talk to us about that shift, and particularly the shift in people attending events, and how that has shaped how you build TIX Africa as a platform.
Absolutely. So there's one thing I always say to my team, that we build what people want. And that has something that has had to happen as our company has evolved and the times that we have been in. So we first launched TIX in 2019 towards the tail end of the year, and as we all know, March 2020 came, and then there was the pandemic, and we're all in lockdown and people couldn't attend events in person. So at that point in time, we pivoted and we integrated with Zoom so that people could host virtual events. We had people who were hosting like virtual work events, but also virtual social events like painting, where they would ship like a painting kit to your house and you do a paint and sip all together. And that helped the business sustain itself through 2021 and early 2022, which were really challenging years for live events. But because we are human beings, we're really social beings, and people like to gather in person, and we want to be the technology that helps that happen. We have seen an accelerated return to live events because people do want to gather in real life. And as that has changed, we continue to build features that allow people to do that. So when we see that we have lots of concerts happening on the platform, we built a feature that allows you to integrate your lineup straight from Spotify, for example, so that people would be able to see the artists that are going to be at the concert. So we just, over time, evolve based on how we see people using the platform and continue to build the features that will support them in the best possible way.
It sounds absolutely amazing. Listen, the continent's digital future has been shaped by the feminines, and one of them is joining me on the line. Her name is Folayemi Augusto. She is the founder of a digital ticketing platform known as TIX Africa, and we're talking about what problem this particular platform is trying to solve. But also, we're going to be chatting to her about coming through as the second place winner amongst 10 women founders for the Found Her Africa Challenge Grand Finale. We're back after this.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
We continue to celebrate the wonderful women who took part in the Found Her Africa Challenge finale. And Folayemi Augusto joins me as the founder of TIX Africa. She emerged as the second place winner amongst 10 women founders from across the African continent who pitched some really amazing, good quality digital businesses here in Johannesburg. Folayemi, you were selected, as I'd mentioned, second place as the Tech Found Her Africa Challenge from over 1,000 applicants. Talk to us about this recognition. What does it mean for you personally and for TIX Africa as a platform going forward?
Personally, I was really excited to be selected because I remember when I first got the email that we had been shortlisted to 20, I actually took my calculator and I calculated the odds of me being one of the 20 out of the 11168 or the specific number they had shared with us. I was really excited. And then when I now got selected to be the top 10, I further calculated the odds of being one out of the total number to win. So I did the math and it just blew me away. And I was personally really excited. And then my team back in Nigeria, they were like holding their breath, like to see how hopefully that I would win, because we all knew that like getting this grant, this investment would really help us as a business to grow, and certain areas where I'll be like, oh no, we don't have a budget for that idea yet, maybe later. Definitely this would bring in capital that might make some of the great ideas the team has possible.
Money as a capacity building tool, so important, because a lot of businesses, especially female-led businesses, Folayemi, struggle with access to capital. It remains one of the biggest hurdle when it comes to businesses or startups, as it were. So let's talk about the plans. If you can share a little bit about how this grant is going to change your immediate plans for TIX Africa.
I wouldn't say it's going to change our immediate plans. It's going to help make them possible.
Right.
So one of the things that has been really important to us is, like, we're called TIX Africa, but we're not in that many African countries. We would like to explore some additional markets in a capital light way, because though we have won the grant, it's definitely not it's not like a full fundraising round that's going to help us like go into several new markets and like deploy a lot of capital immediately. But it will help us to test some new ideas, validate some theories we might have about markets, and maybe help us to get into an additional market at least in the coming months. It would also help us like build our team, improve our technology, and just generally be a better company, honestly.
Right. And just speaking of that, obviously you're working with some really complex dynamics within eventing. Perhaps we can use Nigeria as an example, because the ecosystem when it comes to eventing is very beautiful and it's vibrant, but it's also complex. So just talk to us about perhaps some of the challenges when it came to how you built, or how you were able to kind of construct something that's reliable when it comes to events and merging that with technology.
Absolutely. I would say that the major reason why something like TIX didn't exist until we started building it is because digital payments in Nigeria, it's really novel. So as we started, there were new payment gateways that also just started. So we've been able to grow alongside these companies growing. And as the digital payment space grows, it creates opportunities for TIX. Let's say now, before in Nigeria, Apple Pay and contactless payments weren't being accepted, but now people can use Apple Pay to pay on TIX. Just just things like that. And because digital payments were so nascent in Nigeria, there weren't as much people who were willing to pay online in the early days. There was lots of like trust. So that was like a challenge that we had to overcome and convince people to initially, okay, you can buy your tickets online. You can trust that you receive your digital tickets. You don't have to go to a physical ticket shop. So those kind of like human challenges and the payment rails not being, I guess in the early days, we had to build a lot of redundancy across different payment providers, different payment channels, because networks can drop, things may not go as expected. So the digital payment space and also overcoming customer biases was definitely some of the challenges that we have encountered so far.
Okay. Look, tech is an operative word, I think, in any fraternity, whether it is in creative spaces like where you are inventing, or whether it is in, I don't know, sustainability matters and climate change and science in other places. Technology is the one. So talk to us about TIX Africa. Perhaps it's your hope and dream for how it's going to contribute to the broader creative and cultural economy in Nigeria and in other parts of the continent that you want to infiltrate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things I shared when I was in South Africa last month is that like Amapiano music and Afrobeats is taking over the world. It's growing in popularity, and people from across the world are becoming more interested in music and entertainment coming out of Africa. At the same time, the creative economy in Africa is worth about $58 billion. And I believe that the opportunity for TIX exists for both the SME creator and also the large artist. And I hope that TIX will be the infrastructure that allows people to monetize their creativity through events, which is going to contribute towards economic growth and earning opportunity for them. At the same time, for the larger companies, and like as touring in Africa grows, and like South Africa has like a great touring economy already. There's like the stadiums, there's the arenas, but like in parts of West and East Africa, that infrastructure is just being built. So with that infrastructure being invested in by the government and technology like TIX Africa existing, those two things coming together will help boost the creative economy, help create earning opportunities, because when tours happen, that's thousands of jobs. When creators can monetize their talents, monetize their community through events, it also creates economic empowerment and economic opportunity for them.
What a time to be alive, Folayemi. What a time to be alive and to problem solve. I think it's so tremendous. Any advice? Perhaps there's another young woman who's listening who's maybe afraid to get into technology, because even just that term, technology, it sounds so intimidating. Any word of advice for young fellow African women who want to get into the tech space and problem solve in a similar manner?
I would say that do it afraid. And the reason why I say that is I never imagined that I was going to work in tech, but I've always been passionate about events. I was always the person who, if we're going somewhere in my university, I was the one like figuring out how we're going to drive there or how we're going to take the bus or the train or whatever it was. I was going to create the group and organize the activity. So if I had thought like that was going to be tech related and I had to find a way to make it tech related, I would probably have been afraid like, oh, there's no relationship between your love for events or gathering and tech. But when it came to it, I just realized it was what I loved. And even though I had no idea, I have never written a single line of code, I just wanted to do it anyways. And if I failed, it would be a great learning experience. But if I didn't fail, oh my God, it would be so beautiful. So
It absolutely, it would catapult you into the next phase, which is exactly what you're doing now. You are just going from one phase to the next, and it's so beautiful. So TIX.Africa, if you want to check out this amazing ticketing platform as put together by Folayemi Augusto and her wonderful team. Folayemi, it was wonderful to tap into your mind and to get a sense of how you build and how you see technology and how you see events on the African continent. Thank you very much for the time and all the best.
Thank you very much for having me. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Foluyemi. Augusto, founder of Tix Africa, a digital ticketing platform. And I think what is really just so beautiful is to see women taking over whole areas in technology, but also addressing some real and deep gaps within different fraternities. Of course, Foluyemi specializing in events, but it just shows us that the future is beautiful and bright and feminine. It is 3:30.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. I am Musibu Dimakura for the final time this afternoon on The Upside. We'll start with this story. So with 1 week to go before the Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco, the Democratic Republic of Congo enter the tournament with confidence but grounded expectations. Now the Leopards reached the semi-finals in Cote d'Ivoire last year, then secured historic qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, giving them now a new status as dangerous outsiders. Drawn in a tough group with Senegal, Benin as well as Botswana, the coach of the DRC, Sebastian Tasebre, says his side must show their resurgence is built on substance and not circumstance. Meanwhile, Algeria head coach Valdemir Pitokovic says the team must accept responsibility and rebuild with courage as well as unity as they prepare now for the AFCON tournament in Morocco. The Desert Foxes are haunted by back-to-back first-round exits back in 2022 and 2024, a dramatic fall from their 2019 triumph. Now, those campaigns were humiliating defeats to Equatorial Guinea as well as Mauritania and led to the dismissal of Jamal Balmadi. Now, Petokovic, appointed after 7 years with Switzerland, has steadied the side with 15 wins in 20 matches, securing qualification for both the AFCON as well as the 2026 FIFA World Cup, co-hosted by Mexico, the USA as well as Canada. He also insists Algeria's first goal is to simply reach the second round, rejecting bold promises of a third continental crown. We'll stay with football news. South African side Mamelodi Sundowns booked their place in the final of the CAF Under-17 Girls Integrated Football Tournament in Zimbabwe after a 6-0 victory over the local side Mabomba Sports Academy at a wet Ngoni Stadium in Norton near Harare on Sunday. So South African Sundowns finished top of Group A with 9 points ahead of Mposa on 6 points, Luenga Academy of Zambia on 3 points, as well as Namibia's Sports Academy on no points. Group B, meanwhile, will be decided later on today, with the top team in that pool set to face Sundowns in Thursday's final. Now, CAF introduced the Gift Under-17 tournament to give club teams in this age group the opportunity to compete against their peers across this region, complementing the events already staged for national teams. Well, the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee High Performance Manager Leon Feisler believes the future of South African sport is in safe hands following Team South Africa's impressive performances at the ongoing African Youth Games in Luanda, Angola. Now, the multi-sport event, which started on the 10th of December, concluding this coming Saturday, the 20th of December, is regarded as a mini African Olympic Games. Now, Team South Africa increased its medal tally to 69 medals by Sunday night at the 4th edition of the Games. Swimming has led the charge in the pool with 17 medals, while badminton contributed 2 medals in the boys and girls events. Meanwhile, cycling, beach volleyball as well as table tennis squads departed for South Africa on Monday morning ahead of their participation in this tournament. Let's hear what Fleischer had to say about the importance of this youth games.
These African Youth Games aren't a qualifier for Youth Olympics. There's no qualification for Youth Olympics. They've changed the format, but still very important for us to attend because this is where our young stars are found. You know, Prudence started at the African Youth Games in Algeria. A few of the other, even some of the sevens players. So yeah, it's a very important tournament to start launching the career. It's good for under 16s to be part of a Team South Africa, you know, starting understanding multi-coded events as opposed to just world champs working together.
Faisler also added that the games provide valuable exposure for smaller sporting codes such as beach volleyball. He also remains optimistic that Team South Africa will climb higher on the medal table by the end of the competition, despite strong challenges from nations like Algeria, who arrived with a 200-strong team, as well as Egypt.
A good end to the year to celebrate our athletes and how well they did. We didn't bring a big contingent. Some of the sport had world champs and other ranking tournaments at the same time. The ones that could, we've brought. The numbers were capped in terms of, like for table tennis, you could only have 1-in-1. For tennis, 1-in-1, which is capped by the organisers. And we've also brought on their debut to be with Team South Africa is beach handball.
All right, so that concludes your sports news this afternoon on The Upside. I do return in the next hour with the Africa in Business team with the final sporting update for the day. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Call us as well on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Siyabangena manje. Vito Jabulani Nkolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. Very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
15:37 on the digital clock. Thabiso Lohoko standing by with the latest business news, the final one for the show this afternoon.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
A very good afternoon. Nigeria's headline inflation rate eased for the 8th consecutive month in November, helped by slowing food inflation. Consumer inflation stood at 14.45% year-on-year last month, down from 16.5% in October. This year's inflation slowdown follows years of surging prices that triggered a cost of living crisis. Consumer inflation peaked near 35% last December, before falling after the Statistics Office revised its base year and adjusted the weight of items in its price basket. South Africa's Water and Sanitation Minister, Phemi Majotina, says the Lesotho Highlands Water Project Phase 2 is at an advanced stage. Majotina took to Lesotho amid growing concern over the delays to the multi-million-dollar project, which is expected to significantly boost water supply to South Africa's integrated Vaal River system. Majotina had this to say.
When you design a project, you'll say the completion date is 2028, but you must also take into cognizance that there are certain factors that are not in your control. Hence, we are talking 28, 29.
South Africa's Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities has warned of an increased risk of financial abuse targeting women and persons with disabilities during the festive season. This includes controlling access to money, misuse of incomes or social grants, forcing debt in their names, or exploiting their economic dependence. The department's spokesperson, Kesha Silala, has called for vigilance during this time.
During the festive season, many perpetrators may intensify these tactics, leaving women and persons with disabilities financially trapped. The department urges women and persons with disabilities to remain vigilant and emphasizes that economic abuse is recognized as a form of domestic violence under South African law.
The pound held steady ahead of a string of UK data that could help cement expectations for a Bank of England rate cut later in the week. Markets showed traders are almost fully pricing in a rate cut on Thursday when the bank meets, and traders expect another cut by the middle of 2026 with the possibility of second by year end. Inflation is still running at nearly twice the BOE's 2% target rate, but the economy is slowing down. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 451. Botswana 13 pula 51. Kenya 128 shilling 40, and Zambia 23 kwacha 1. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5 ruble 42. Russia 80 rubles 2. India 90 rupees 53. China 7 yuan 5. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 rand 87 cents. 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold $4,344 and platinum $1,744 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $61.39 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Tabiso Lehoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Ahoy, matey.
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. As 2025 draws to a close, we pause to honor the spirits that connect us. The festive season reminds us of what truly matters: family, community, and unity. No matter where you gather or reflect, Channel Africa is with you. Bring you stories and voices that are shaped by the African perspective.
Something significant happened on this day. Asanda, you were a baby, I'm sure. I'm not even sure if you were born. No, you were a baby, yeah.
Yoga. Matseko is still trying to convince me.
No, I've done that already, and you're going to come now on the journey.
I will try.
From all of us to all of you, may your season be safe and peaceful. Channel Africa, the African perspective. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong. She in my feet with the big boys. She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong, make her enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss, I'm a enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss.
Big boy, yeah, she let her call me Poppy. Late at night, yeah, she ride it like a Harley. Anything you want just to make you happy.
Dinner time, yeah, chew it like a chappy. Damn piece on my side like I'm over. Lucky like a 4-leaf clover. Kill it, dumb till it's over. Love drunk, baby, give me hangover. You know the vibe is so fine, I cannot control my eye. And I no reply when the streets hit me up, I know be shy. Baby, you a dream, forever my queen. She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong. She ain't my feet with the big boy. She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong, make her enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy. Enjoy, give her big fuss, I'm a enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy. Enjoy, give her big fuss, yeah. Bébé, qu'est-ce que tu fais, dis-moi tu es prêt, Je veux expliquer, give me couple seconds. I go pick you in a phantom, we can go to Santon. I go drop a couple racks on you, cause you a bad you better for me. That's all for me. Your love for me. If you better for me, that's all for me. Your love for me. Enjoy, with a big boy, I'm a big boy. Enjoy, give a big fuss, I'm a enjoy, with a big boy, I'm a big boy. Enjoy, give a big fuss.
The Upside, live and real.
Say tonight for the club we go turn up. Everybody at the bar, we go on. I want the car, I no go let anyone control. Anything I want to, I go do. I want the car, I no go let anyone control. Anything I want to, I go do.
Asake coming through with Organize. This is Channel Africa, The Upside, the name of the program, with you until 4 p.m. And speaking of 4 p.m., we're a good 10 minutes away. We've got Africa in Business with Tami Ngubeni coming through after the 4 p.m. news bulletin.
Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Upside. On The Upside, your voice matters.
Don't you just love being a woman? We're multitasking.
Love it.
We're texting, we're laughing, we're directing, we're venting. Oh,
Everything.
man. Listen, we're doing everything. So the voice of our executive producer on the show, Nombuselo Tango, is joining me, and we're going to blow off some steam before we leave this building,
I
y'all.
need to blow it off.
Oh, my goodness. What happened?
So firstly, I'm sure on your way to work, you saw that it's empty on the roads.
Yes.
Like everybody is at home.
Emptier than normal.
Emptier than normal,
Yeah.
right? And it gives that, oh, people have gone home. It's December. Like, we know it started a couple of weeks ago, but it's December, guys.
Yes.
December.
And also it's like mid-month, and a lot of companies closed on
They're
Friday.
going to close on this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
a lot
they're
of
going
them.
to close. Yeah. So it's because here in South Africa, it's a public holiday tomorrow. So today, most of them are not at work.
Oh, yes, Reconciliation Day tomorrow.
Exactly.
Wow.
While I reconcile my budget for December, you guys are, reconciling on other things. Great things. So, what are your thoughts of people who spend recklessly, live their life like there's no tomorrow during December? And we know South Africa is synonymous for this, guys. December, when they say dizzy December, it really means we're all going to get dizzy, whether you drink alcohol or not.
What does Mr.
Your
Trump say?
pocket.
Stop drinking holy water. I loved him so much. Stop drinking the holy water,
Yes.
because then you could. You know what my issue is? I think everyone's a grown up. I think you do with your life as you see fit. But you can lose my number in January, because I'm not going to be there to rescue you. Whether it's 5 rand or 5 bob, and now in
We
a
can't
cent
have
MTAG.
11 months straight. You and I were okay. We assisted each other. Now December time, January, you're gonna say no, delete my numbers.
Okay, well, that's a different context.
So if you see that your friend is reckless, going out, listen, your friend is in Bali, comes back, goes to Cape Town, will you say no, I don't have money this time around? Or will you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to assist you, knowing that on their statuses, on their social media, they were busy posting while you were busy calculating?
I'm a generous human being, so I'll go into my garden and I'll pull a few potatoes and tomatoes for you. But I'm not giving you a cent MTAG, no.
Nothing.
No money. I promise you, I will go into my garden and I'll see if I can grab a couple of spinach there for you.
I'm like
and
that
put it
as
in
well.
a nice little
I'm
basket.
like that as well.
Off you go.
I gave my brother money this weekend, and this is supposed to last him until New Year's. It's already done. Do I have anything to say about it? I just need to accept.
What's that meme that with the guy go?
Not you.
Absolutely not. And that's the thing. Like, we put each other in such difficult positions because we spend all our money knowing that there's a Nombuselo or there's a Matsako that will come to the rescue. It's not going to happen. Not this year. Not this year, not in 2026, not in, because we are following the SDGs. Kaloku, we're fixing the country.
As you drink your
We're
holy
fixing the
water.
Listen, you got to drink your holy water with some responsibility.
Yes.
And thinking about your future. And I think especially if you've got dependents, whether it's children or extended family or elderly parents that depend on you, you've got to think about that and have a savings account for crying out loud.
All I'm saying is, if you're going to be irresponsible, let it be on your part. I don't want to be.
Don't involve us.
I don't want to feel like I'm a second forgone good.
It's got to be a real emergency. I don't think we need to be that, like we're not going to help people.
Ask your mother.
It has to be a
Ask your father.
Emergency.
Real emergencies are meant for families, not friends, not colleagues.
Not friends, not colleagues.
No. So if you're going to December the way you're supposed to,
shall we print T-shirts?
Let's.
And now in a scent
Mdaka.
and wear them the entire day.
Drink your holy water as per MMC.
Speaking of rands and cents and nairas and kwachas, the woman who knows everything to do with business and the business of December and what is happening right now is Tami Ngubeni. She's coming through with Africa in Business after 4. Listen, we're talking about people that are going to be borrowing money from us come January.
Oh, yes. I mean, I've been listening with great interest on the sidelines. And there are 2 hashtags that are going to come out of the upside. First one is hashtag Sendimdaka. And then hashtag holy water.
That is that is the Johannesburg MMC for public safety.
Yes.
Dr. Jwaku say, listen, if you're going to drink your holy water, do so responsibly.
Yes. So there you have it. The holy water of Nigeria, as you know, is oil. They are the continent's biggest producer of oil. And one problem that Dangote's oil refinery was supposed to solve is the problem of extensive import of oil in the country.
Right.
And he is basically continuing his task with the oil refinery, the regulator rather, taking them to task as to why are they still importing copious amounts of oil instead of developing the local industry. The refinery is there, so that can't be an excuse anymore. It's an opportunity to stimulate the economy, to create employment. And we'll take a look at his sentiments as well as this fight against the oil refineries. That's one of the stories. And then also in our FNB feature today, we look at FNB and the role that they're going to be playing in distributing funds to the Itala bankers who haven't been able to access their funds since January this year. So they're now going to be distributing via their various branches across the country.
Right.
Perfect timing because people need their money. It's festive season. And then we'll be looking at something quite interesting. Do you use Uber Eats or delivery services takeout? Do you order in?
I don't order in, but I used to use Uber Eats.
Used to?
And now I'm disciplined.
And now you're disciplined.
Yeah.
So if you had to guess as to what it is that people ordered the most in 2025, what would your guess be?
Like a type of food?
Yeah, a type of food. What was the biggest order or what is it that people ordered the most?
In my mind, I'm thinking, what's the most convenient food? Because people do that because they want something quick and easy. Burgers and chips.
Burgers and chips?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like you to listen to our feature that's coming up this afternoon.
Okay.
The Uber Eats, they've launched their report, which focuses on what it is that people are eating. It's called the Cravings Report. And they're tracking the foods that were ordered, the delivery stats, the super users, and all sorts of quirky things as far as takeout is concerned and delivered. So we're going to be talking to Ntswaki Nsibanyoni, who is General Manager for Uber Eats Sub-Saharan Africa at about 4:40 this afternoon.
Carol, she's going to tell us about Malale Mogodu for 2025.
Don't you wish? Remember DJ Smoo, started his...
Yes.
Was it Mzek's Kitchen? Yes. That would be quite interesting actually to find out how that ranked and how that fared. I remember they delivered us some really nice goodies at the radio station when they launched in the morning. And so there we were having Malale Mogodu and
his quotas are legendary.
And his quotas, yeah. So all of that... So stay tuned to Africa in Business as we start wrapping up the year with some quirky business information for you and, of course, the serious business that still continues to be done.
Absolutely. Business never closes its doors, not even on a festive season. So tune in. That's coming through just after 4.
Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
Well, it was wonderful to spend the Monday with you. I'm back again with you, and Tebogo will be back in the stew between 1 and 4 p.m. in Central African time. Thank you for your time, Upsider. We make way for a news bulletin coming through, but Tami Ngubeni taking over with Africa in Business just after the news bulletin.